So yeah, we're going to do a 2-hour conversation in 2.5 minutes. Let's give it our best shot. So we need to move from the premise that culture is important. If you don't buy into that notion that culture eats everything for breakfast, then UGRs is not for you. Once we accept that culture is really important, you have to buy into the premise that leader behaviors dictate culture in an organization, that leader behaviors enable culture in a workplace. Let me maybe introduce the concept of UGRs quickly, and then let's go back at what I've just said. So UGRs, unwritten ground rules, are people's perception of this is the way we do things around here. They sound like this. Around here, the only time I get spoken to by the boss is when I do something wrong. It's a negative UGR. Or they sound like this. Around here, if I need help, all I need to do is look up. Is a positive UGR. Those UGRs are never spoken about. Those UGRs exist in all organizations, but they're never spoken about openly. People have to deduce them. And once they've deduced them, people then start behaving in line with those UGRs because people want to fit in. So a new person joins a team in the old world, pre-COVID, and they would sit in a meeting and see who makes eye contact with who, or who says what when who else enters or leaves the room, or what happens when the boss asks a question, or what gets said in the meeting after the meeting, what gets said at the water cooler about the meeting. Now, in the world of online, what happens on the chat while the Zoom meeting is going on, and what happens in the phone call after the Zoom meeting. Those tell us what the UGRs are. And whatever the UGRs are, people then embrace as behavior so that it becomes the culture. Therefore, UGRs, unwritten ground rules, are the culture. So, if we want to shift culture, we need to understand what the current unwritten ground rules are through doing a UGR stock take. It's like a culture survey. And then we need to analyze those results to understand what it is that is causing them to be the way they are. And then we need to lift and surface recommendations for improvement that we can change. Now, back to where I was. I said that leaders influence culture. The truth is that leaders cause or allow the prevailing UGRs to exist. That doesn't mean that leaders are solely responsible for the culture. The truth is that if all employees, all partners, all associates are not held accountable and do not behave the right way, then we will never shift the culture. So here's the thing. Typically, organizations measure performance, not behavior. We think you should measure behavior as much as performance, and how people behave should dictate everything, whether they get promoted, whether they get employed, and whether they get that pay rise. So UGRs is a machine, a system, an insight with which to understand, reframe, change your UGRs, and then embed new ones. Where do people learn about it? Well, www.ugrs.net. On the case studies page there are videos from some of our clients like Kmart and like McLaren speaking to how we've done this. And then maybe interestingly, in recent years, we've stopped working exclusively with very large corporates, but we are now focusing more on organizations with 1,000 people or fewer, anything between 50, 500 and 1,000 people, putting this system in place there, and we're seeing much faster traction and change and transformation. How do you change culture? You figure out what the unwritten ground rules are. You ask yourself whether they are the way you want them to be, and if they're not, you put in place the behaviors that will transition them into positive UGRs, and then you embed those behaviors.